Shalom, shalom, Israel. Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. Yahweh is the Most High God, and Yahushai is who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. Rakakwadash, in the Paleo Hebrew, is the Holy Spirit. Double honors to the apostles and the elders in Great Millstone, who will rule the world through the Spirit, teaching His word and believing His word to the best of His ability. Lord, one of the Most High continue to put in their spirit to be sincere and to endure and continue to teach 100% of the Most High's doctrine. Mighty Shalom to the hopeful elect that are scattered four corners of the earth, teaching His word and believing His word to the best of their ability. Lord, one of the Most High continue to put it on their spirit to endure. Shalom to the Aquathim that are married and single that are believers of His word. Lord willing, you can continue to pursue to be a loving and silent and virtuous wife, which is your lot. And Lord willing, the Most to have mercy on the other brothers and sisters that's not in the faith. This is just a continuation of Romans 11th chapter. You know, I want to try to continue on with this one. We're going into the new branches grafted in. You know, all praise to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai for allowing the truth to still be on this earth because it's faithful and true, which is 2nd Ezra, the 15th chapter, verse 1 and 2, right? And who's the branches getting grafted in? It's the children that are dispersed, that became heathens and Gentiles, which is really the northern kingdom. And yes, most of all Israel got scattered four corners of the earth, so we all became some type of form of a Gentile or a heathen because we started to pick up the customs of the heathens. So this is Romans chapter 11, verse 11. I'm going to try to read as many scriptures as I can and bring out as many precepts. And wherever we leave off, I'll just continue with the next video. So Romans 11:11. I say then, have they stumbled that they should fall? God forbid. But rather, through their fall, salvation has come unto the Gentiles, for to provoke them to jealousy. Now I'm just gonna go in my blue letter. Um, see, I can't even read it. I was gonna read it in another translation. But these Gentiles is talking about Israelites. A sidebar. This congregations, HOI, they teaching that these are heathens, right? But Romans 11:11 in NLT, it says, did the Most High's people stumble and fall beyond recovery? Of course not. They were disobedient, so God made salvation available to the Gentiles. But He wanted His own people to become jealous and claim it for themselves. Now, if the Gentiles were enriched because the people of Israel turned down the Most High offer of salvation, think how much greater a blessing the world will share when they finally accept it, right? I am saying all this especially for you Gentiles. God has appointed me as the apostle to the Gentiles. I stress this, right? Because Paul was sent to go and teach to the dispersed, right? And these are Israelites that are going to obtain salvation. This is not going, I repeat, this is not going in to real physical heathens. This is going into Israelite heathens, right? If we can make it possible, let's get a few of these presets for this. This is Isaiah chapter 42, verse 6, and it says, I, Yahweh, have called thee in righteousness, which is that faith, and will hold thy hand and will keep thee and give thee for a covenant of the people, for a light of the Gentiles, to open the blind eyes, to bring out the prisoners from the prison, and them that sit in darkness out of the prison house. Right? Which is this world is a prison, you know, like Babylon, Esau, you know. But the Lord blinded the children of Israel, which some of us got a strong delusion. But the Lord left a remnant so that we would teach His word. That's why we have the apostles and the prophets. The Pharisees and Sadducees, they were considered people. Um, they were considered Gentiles through the Spirit. You know, because eventually, they had their own traditions. They were false teachers. And then you had other Israelites that could have been way worse or that fully follow the customs of the heathen. Because of course the Pharisees and Sadducees was following the law, but then you got that evil mindset of taking bribes, having respect of persons, right? So they were doing uh, um, some wicked things, right? But as a whole, you got to think of the children of Israel that's coming back in this truth now. They had a mindset of a Gentile. They were moving in a Gentile state, especially when we were doing holidays. Women want to be whores, men want to be thugs, gangsters. That's a Gentile mindset. Six figures. I want to be a millionaire. All this, all this doctoring up your body with the BBLs and surgeries. The nations do that, doing all things that don't pertain to our nation and our culture. But some things that are right, that might not even be righteous or unrighteous, you could probably do, but you don't want to abuse the world. We want to be a reflection of being a Hebrew Israelite, right? So right there and then, what we just read in Isaiah 42 verse 6, that showed what Isaiah was prophesying, that the people of Israel, which is really the teachers, they're going to be a light to the Gentiles, right? And that light is really Yahushai, right? Only the men of the Lord that abide and obtain Yahushai is going to be the light to the Gentiles. So in order to even teach the people that have a Gentile mindset that's moving in that way, you must have the light of Hamashiach Yahushai, right? Just to see Acts 28 verse 28, it says, "Be it known therefore unto you that the salvation of the Most High is sent unto the Gentiles, and that they will hear it." And when he had said these words, the Jews departed and had great reasoning among themselves. Because really, who was still in the law and walking in the ways that was sure was the southern kingdom, Judah and Benjamin, right? But the other 10, majority of all of them, a good handful, fled from the Assyrian captivity and came all the way to the ends of the earth, which we would see through scriptures that would be America. You understand? But yes, some of the northern kingdom was still neck to neck with the southern kingdom, right? But when we're not walking in the ways of the Lord, when we were in the Greek captivity, that's like the first start of being Hellenized, pushed to stop following your laws and your customs, and to be pushed to follow the leaders of the king. That's why when you're in America, most of us is following the laws of whatever Esau gave us, right? But just to continue on, because with this verse, this is a big, some brothers in some congregations, this is a huge stumbling block to use verse 11 and 12 for the heathen, but say the rest of the chapter is for Israel. And the first verse is going into Israel. God have not cast out his people, right? The two-thirds is they gotta get touched, right? But in the later end, if reincarnation and regeneration is real, and when you die, that spirit go back to the Most High, and through all, because of Yahushai as a nation, we're saved through Yahushai's blood. But some is gonna have to understand, get this truth: death by pain. So their ending is going to die in this captivity and then come back through the loins of men, you know. But this is Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 21. And they have moved me to jealousy with that which is not God. They have provoked me to anger with their vanity, and I will move them to jealousy with those which are not a people. I will provoke them to anger with a foolish nation. Now, in some cases, you might think, oh, no, this must be Esau. Oh, how are we going to be jealous to somebody that have leprosy? No, we just read it when we was in Acts 28 and 28. The Jews start walking away from him when he said, man, we must go to the Jews, right? But he said that they are not a people. If you understand precepts, even when you go in Romans, the ninth chapter, he's referencing Hosea. Hosea had to marry a whorish wife to be symbolic to Israel and then have whorish children, right? So this is Hosea chapter 1. I'm going to try to just go straight to the point. Verse 9. It says, then said God, call his name Lo and mean, for ye are not my people, and I will not be your God. Yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured nor numbered. And it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, ye are not my people, there it shall be said unto them, ye are the sons of the living God. Right? In Israel we were said, told by Yahweh Shema Shai, we are not his people. But really, in the time of Hosea, that was symbolic to the actual action of us not uh, the example of us not being the people to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, right? And it's all because we wanted to serve the heathens' idols. When we look at Ezekiel 23, we had many lovers, and that's when it comes to you having many beliefs, is because you have many lovers, right? So it says that ye are not my people. The Lord divorced them. When you spiritually look at Sirach, the 25th chapter, the last verse, if your wife don't go the way that you want her to go, give her a bill of divorce. You know, in the spirit, the Lord gave us a bill of divorce. And when we look at Jeremiah 17 and 4, Isaiah 65 and 15, you know, we discontinue from our heritage, which was a punishment of the divorcement of Yahweh Shema Shai. But the Lord he didn't cast us away. He's still dealing with us because he left a remnant in the nation because he still loves us. He loves his daughters. He loves his wives, right? Pissed, we pissed him off. Just like most men, you know, it's just a woman. Their mind is not the same. Sometimes your wife, you might get upset. You might get annoyed. You know, sometimes brothers want to get away, you know, because we're men. We're not in a female mindset. You know, we're men. We want to be rough, you know, and then it's just a mindset. You know, men can get more things done with other men when it comes to leading, teaching, and building. You know, you understand? So I'm just using it as a reference to Yahweh divorcing us, right? Because when you're a disobedient wife, you are a bad reflection towards your husband. We was a bad reflection. The nation gonna look like, man, you the children of the Lord and you doing this? So like we look terrible, right? This is Hosea 2 and 23. It says, and I will sow her unto me in the earth, and I will have mercy upon her that had not obtained mercy. And I will say to them which were not my people, thou art my people, and they shall say, thou art my God. So when we even look in the New Testament, the ones that actually got up and really followed Yahweh Shai and understood the parables, those are Yahweh Shai's people, and that is symbolic to the elect. If we look at Noah's family, the ones that was preserved, the Lord, those are the Lord's people. At that moment, the Lord was using them to repopulate the earth, right? Just using it as a form of elect. If the Lord preserved you, just like the million Israelites that flee into the African mountains, the Lord preserved you because the elect was coming out of that. The Europeans coming to get us, they didn't even know that they are bringing the elect to America so that through the Spirit it would be fulfilled. Matthew 22, us teaching in the highways and byways and being a sign like Jonah. Wow, that like it hits. You understand? So let's go back. Let's go, not literally go back, but let's get more precepts because we really want to really show that Romans chapter 11 verse 11 is dealing with Israel and none else. So reading Romans 11 verse 11 one more time before I get this other precept. I say then, have they stumbled that they should fall? God forbid. But rather through their fall, salvation is come unto the Gentiles for to provoke them to jealousy. And you got to look at it very heavy. It was some people that still was 10 toes down for Yahweh Shem Yahushai. And then you got this salvation given to ones that wasn't committed. You can't look at this and say, oh, this salvation, because then somebody might think the same ones that wasn't in the covenant, which is heathens, in the old covenant, they can come in this new covenant. We can't make it feel good. Cyrus wasn't getting no salvation. Cyrus wasn't making us jealous. Alexander and Antioch, they wasn't making us jealous. How they making us jealous if they was making us eat unclean foods? You got to put that in a way more perspective. Now, right now, I could say Jake is jealous. They want more money because most of us is worldly. But you just to be honest, Jake is not going to be jealous of somebody that's unrighteous when we're righteous. When the Lord said, "Don't envy the wicked," that prosper. We shouldn't even be worried about them prospering. So that wouldn't be the same way. But when it comes, if I'm serving Yahweh Shema Shai and I still know who I am, the circumcision in the flesh, but really the circumcision in the heart, and then these ones that wasn't circumcision in the flesh, and they wasn't walking with us when we was in the gym, you telling me that they can get salvation, right, just through faith? Man, I've been keeping the law. He is talking about the disperse of Israel that discontinued from the heritage and they started walking like the heathen. So this is Acts chapter 13, verse 46. Then Paul and Barnabas waxed bold and said, it was necessary that the word of God should first have been spoken to you, which is the southern kingdom, right? Because you have to know, right after uh, when Yahweh really when Herod, like all the kings was done, soon as, because the Lord said that it was gonna always be a throne for David's descendants, right? But now we're not in the time of kings anymore, right? It's like I think it's Judges where men just go off of their own imagination. They don't got no king, no priest. We got priests, but the true teachers is the elders and apostles and the men on down, right? But saying it again, God should first have been spoken to you, the southern kingdom, but seeing ye put it from you because we're stubborn, right? It says, and judge yourselves unworthy of everlasting life. Lo, we turn to the Gentiles, right? And the way that the way the southern kingdom would be acting, let alone we were acting in certain forms. When you go look at the book of Acts. Soon as people seen them talking to the Gentiles, oh, you eating food, oh, you was chilling. Go read Acts 10, because a lot of congregations teach that Cornelius is an Edomite. From us over here, starting with the Captain Yarmayan, all the way down, we teach Cornelius an Israelite, which goes hand in hand with the elder apostles. So we teaching the same song as the elder apostles. Elder Tahar is the first one to bring Cornelius being the Israelite out. And you have to understand, Israel has been scattered four corners of the earth. They have picked up Gentile customs and heathen customs. They might be a cop, they might be a sortarian, they might be a general. Look at us in America now. You can't doubt that couldn't happen back then if it's happening now. Ain't nothing new under the sun, right? Let's get another one. Let's go to Romans 10 and 19. Romans 10 and 19. But I say, did not Israel know? First Moses saith, I will provoke you to jealousy by them that are no people, and by a foolish nation I will anger you. Now, this is Moses saying this. This is a prophecy in the Old Testament that came to pass in a time when Paul was speaking. So, who is the foolish nation? Israel, because God is for us, and we chose to serve an idol. Because in most cases, when you deal with the New Testament, a lot of Israel fell into idolatry, really adultery spiritually. You know, we defiled ourselves with another woman, which is another philosophy, another belief. Like literally, physically, mentally, spiritually, we was connected to other beliefs. You even got Pharisee, oh, who is your king? Oh, our king is Caesar. You know, making our own tradition of men. You understand? So the foolish people that's gonna provoke us is the ones that wasn't walking in the ways of the Lord from the beginning all the way until Yahweh. Those got us angry. Like, man, this man over here worshiping a stick and a stone. The Lord already prophesied that these would happen, and Yahweh was supposed to come to be the light. First, he had to go get the sheep. The sheep is the one that is of the fold, which was the Jews. Now, since the Jews is doubting themselves, and this was going to put more of a fire on them to serve the Lord, Yahweh was going to put that spirit on the apostles, go to the Gentiles. Then look at our captivity of how we moved all the way to America. And most of our nation had a Gentile mindset. So when you look at this Gentile movement, what the Greeks did all the way before the Greeks, even in Mesopotamia, um, Babylon, and the Persian and Medes, it always been a Hellenization. It just got real serious a little after Alexander the Great. And look at America, its system is off of Hellenizing people, you know. And a lot of us fell into the system because Esau was blessed with the sword, and he used the sword to stop you from serving Yahweh Shema Shai. But that was just the anger of the Lord. And then guess what? Your mother and father didn't teach you. You was doing Christmas. A lot of us, you know, and thank the Lord while I was doing Christmas, Halloween, all of that. Elder Tahar, Apostle Gabar, Rimlab, and the other men that came in underneath them, you know, they was serving Yahweh Shem Yahushai, you know? So we gotta thank the Lord that he put people ahead of you. This is like a relay. You know, when you look at a relay, it's the first racer, the second, then the third, and then the last one where they basically really doing a straightaway, but they do the oval and then they just doing a straight run. And that's the most important, but it's really the first one is important. How the first runner starts, that's gonna let you know if you're gonna win, but sometimes it can be unexpected. The end might go faster. And we know what the scriptures say in Ecclesiastes, better is the end of a thing than the beginning. That's why I know Jake for sure is going even harder now because it's like a basketball game. When you get in the fourth quarter, you go even harder. You know, this is fourth quarter clutch. You know, so now that foolish nation is slowly knowing who they is. That's Baruch 2:30. It said, in the land of our captivity, we shall remember who we are. Then who are we now if we don't know who we are? We're moving like heathens. If we don't know who we is, we're moving like somebody. Make it make sense. Let alone a lot of us have heathen names. You know, Lord willing, that was edifying. Again, that was Romans 11, verse 11. Just going into the salvation is given to the Gentiles, and how that was going to make the Jews jealous. So now we just broke it down. That is the dispersed of Israel. If you have any questions and think you still don't understand it, we can get back into it again. So Lord willing, after work, I can continue. I could probably do verse 12, but now you know. Romans is dealing with Israel. And with that, I'm going to say shalom, shalom. All praise to Yahweh Shemel Shai. Shalom.